Hello and hello and hello again. How are you doing? I am just going live for a few minutes because I was thinking I haven't been live in a minute, and it is a beautiful Saturday. Again, whether it was beautiful or not, it's just time to go live. But then again, every day is beautiful, right? My name is Valerie C. Thompson. I was created to encourage, inspire, and uplift. And I just had the pleasure of doing a recording with the lovely Dr. Monica. Um, Funny thing is, I don't remember your last name, Monica, but Dr. Monica Debrow. She's a beautiful woman of God. She is a woman who has a show on the Believe in Your Dreams network, like I do. And her show is titled Love Yourself to Life. Not love yourself to death, but love yourself to life. And those words just meant so much to me, and it's so empowering. And so on today, again, I just want to encourage you, to inspire you, to uplift you, because that is what I do. That is why I am here. So in our conversation, we did talk about domestic violence. We talked about what it took for me to come out of it. And one thing that I told her is understanding that it was a spiritual warfare, not taking it personal, but understanding that it was about purpose. And one thing that I can say coming out of it, I learned about self love. Self love is self care. So I learned how to love myself. And many of us are lacking in that area. We won't admit it, but we are. So you got to love yourself enough to come out of something like that. So I'm very grateful. And there's a song that comes to mind. I love music. There's a song by Tony called Loving You. And I listen to that song every day because it's just one of my favorites. But it's loving me. And it doesn't mean that I am conceited or full of myself. But if I don't love myself, how can I expect anyone else to love me? And the Bible even says it too. If you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor? You know what I mean? Love your neighbor like you love yourself. But if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. And that's the truth. And I'm going to say this because I say this all the time when I go live stream or no, StreamYard live and I don't see the chats. But that's okay because I will answer them later. If you hear my grandchild in the background, that's because they're beating on the door trying to get in, but it's all good. But again, I just want to talk about loving yourself. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. Hi, Tiffany. So what are some of the things that you do to love yourself? It's spending time with yourself, which is really spending time with God. It's knowing when to shut down, whether that's on social media, with your friends, with your family. It's going for a walk in nature, whatever that is. Love yourself. And so for me, again, as it relates to being in domestic violence, I had to learn to love myself enough to come out of it. People don't talk about it. I think it's more of one of those hush hush things. People don't want to deal with it, but it's the reality. There are so many people that are in it. The statistics will prove that. I don't have them on me, but they're high, especially now that we are coming out of COVID. And there are many people that were in the house with their abusers going through some things that we couldn't even imagine, right? But it's really taking the time out to get still, to get quiet, and to love yourself, and to be unapologetic about that. Loving yourself, to own the truth about who you are and whose you are. And I say the same thing all the time, but you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You were created in the image of God. God has marvelous plans for you to prosper, not to harm you, plans to give you hope for an amazing future. This is true, but you still got to take time to get still, to get quiet, to listen to what the Spirit says to you, for you to be who you are, for you to come out of whatever you are in. And I say this because there are so many people who die at the hands of domestic violence because they are afraid to go inward. They are afraid to take the necessary steps to love themselves. They are afraid to do whatever they need to do to come out of it. And I thank God every day. Like, I'm so thankful. And again, being on this, doing this interview this morning with Dr. Monica, and the title of her show is called Love Yourself to Life. We hear it all the time, or someone will tell you, I love you to the moon and back. I love you to life. But we got to love ourselves to life. Sometimes we are in some dead places and some dead situations, and we have to pray for the resurrection of Jesus to be on the inside of us so that we can come out of it. I say Jesus, you could say God, or you could say whatever you say, but there's something that has to resurrect on the inside of you so you can come out of whatever dead and dry situation that you're in, because God has called us to a life of thriving. God has called us to a life of prosperity. God has called us to a life of abundance. God has called us to a life of creativity and imagination. God has called us to a life of elevation. God has called us to a life of revelation so that we can see the manifestation. And so I'm grateful. Hi, Monica. Dr. Monica, I was just talking about you and your show, Love Yourself to Life. We have to love ourselves enough to come out of that dead place, to come out of that dry place, so that we can be who God has called us to be. We all have a story. We have all been through something. We all come through something, right? But there's life on the other side. So I'm so grateful and I'm so full today to be connected to some beautiful people with the Believe in Your Dreams Network. And I shout her out all the time, Dr. Nicole Peters and the rest of the Believe in Your Dreams team. Again, Dr. Monica, I'm grateful. I see my sister Tiffany on here. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for our stories. I'm grateful for our connection. I'm grateful that God's hand of mercy and grace has been upon our lives. I'm grateful that we were predestined. There was something that God had called us to do early in the game, right? We didn't know it, right? But we went through some stuff and we are still here, not just to survive, but we're thriving. And it's such a blessing. So for me, I don't like to come on and be on too long. I just want to encourage, inspire, and uplift, because it is okay to love yourself and not feel cocky about it, to not feel conceited. But guess what? We walk with Godfidence. I didn't say confidence, but we walk with Godfidence, because again, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, created in the image of God. We are queens. We are kings. We are here to soar. We are here to be just good on so many levels, good from the inside out. But we'll never get there if we don't take the time out to tune in, to tap in to the essence of who we really are. What are we made of? Who are we made of? And so even when I think about own your truth, it's dismantling those lies that have been attached to you from your childhood, or how about this, from generations, the things that your mom went through, the things that your grandmother went through, the things that your great grandmother went through. And then some of us, when we think about slavery, the things that our ancestors in slavery went through that were passed down to us. So a lot of us don't know how to love ourselves. Hey, Bubbly, I love you. A lot of us don't know how to love ourselves. And it's okay, because we got to love ourselves so that we can show our children and our grandchildren, and then whoever else God puts in front of us. Because it's about love, to be honest with you. Mays used to saying, love is the key. Love is the key. God is love. And yes, it takes a little digging to understand that, and it takes a little digging to get back there. You know what I mean? Because sometimes our hearts are hard, and our hearts are hardened because of the things that we went through. So I just thank God today that not only do I have a soft and pliable heart, but you have a soft and pliable heart. I thank God for expanding our thinking. I thank God for expanding our thoughts, because God's thoughts are greater than our thoughts. His ways are greater than our ways. I thank God that we are here today to become one, to move the way that God has called us to move. I thank God for igniting a fire in us. I thank God for the faith that we have. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not yet see. Whatever that is for you, whatever loving yourself means, do it today. Go out there and do it, because we only get one try at this. I would say I haven't died and came back. I haven't died and came back. You may have, but I haven't. So I'm trying to get this thing right now. And so I'm just grateful for love. I'm grateful for peace. I'm grateful for harmony. I'm grateful for being who I am today and moving in the things of God. I am grateful for every opportunity. I'm grateful for connection and collaboration. I am grateful, again, like I said earlier, for elevation. I'm grateful for revelation. I am grateful for expansion. I am grateful today for learning how to love myself. And that came by way of the domestic violence relationship that I was in. And how about this? It happened, it came before that, because again, watching it through the eyes of a child, when I witnessed my parents, I grew up with low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-value. And I tell you what, as an adult, every day that goes by, I find pennies every day. And I always say those pennies remind me of my self-worth. I feel like those pennies are placed perfectly in my path to remind me of my self-worth. And yes, I do pick them up. My kids are like, you gonna pick them pennies up? You dang on straight. Oh, I was about to say something else. Can't cuss. You are darn straight. I'm about to pick those pennies up. Because pennies are money, right? So again, love yourself, know your worth. Don't stay anywhere where you don't need to stay, wherever that is, whether it's a situationship, whether it's a job. I've shared that before too. I left my job. I had to do it. It wasn't for me. It wasn't my truth. Know your worth, know your value, know who you are and whose you are, because you are here to impact the masses. There is something about you that somebody else needs to hear or see. Someone needs you. You have something that someone else needs. So I thank God for you today. I thank God for expanding your gifts and your talents. I thank God that you were created to share your gifts and talents with the world. I thank God that we were all created to move in purpose, on purpose for God's huge purpose. Hey, Vanessa, God bless you. Yes, yes, yes. Look, I need to learn how to work the comments here on if I'm being live, huh? That's what I need to do. I love you all. And God bless you. Share it out. Again, I'm just here to encourage, inspire, and uplift. My passion for people, especially women. We stay in places for so long where we don't need to be because of lack of self-love, self-worth. We do not know how to care for ourselves. So take some time out today. I'm going to tell you this too. In 2019, I did a challenge that was, I put it out there, but it was really for me. I get it. You know, that's how God does it. But it was a challenge and I posted it on YouTube. And it was 30 days to self-love in 2019 in December. And I kid you not, when I did that, it just opened the door for so many miraculous things to happen in 2020. 2020 was just like, wow, bam, in my face. So many things happened. So many things happened. And it was all because I listened to the voice of God on the inside of me. It was all because I got still and I got quiet. It was all because I took a chance on me. I decided to love me. And part of loving me is self-care. So I just wanted to share that. God bless you all. Have a wonderful Saturday. Be good to yourself. Be true to yourself. Love yourself to life. Thank you, Dr. Monica. Love yourself to life. Own your truth and rise, because when you rise and you stand up in it, then God is called to use you. God is going to use you. God is going to use you in a most profound way to, I don't say upset, but to disrupt the atmosphere, to disrupt the atmosphere. You are absolutely correct. We cannot love anyone else until we love ourselves. I love you, Barbara. We can, and I say that from my heart. I feel like there's so many different ways to demonstrate love, but we cannot demonstrate that if we don't demonstrate it first to ourselves. And it is a challenge depending on what you've been through, depending on what you have experienced in life. It's a challenge, but guess what? All things are possible through Christ who gives us strength. We all know that when we go through things in life, consider it pure joy when we face trials and tribulations of many kinds, because it gives us perseverance and it develops our character just a little more. So again, me coming from what I come from, it gave me just a little more oomph to love myself. It gave me more perseverance and motivation and determination to keep on keeping on. So I encourage you today to keep on keeping on. Love yourself, love somebody else. Be grateful that you are still here to get it right. If you haven't been getting it right, you know what I'm saying? We woke up this morning, so we still got another day. We still got some more time to get it right. So walk in love, walk in peace, walk in harmony. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Your truth, whatever that truth is your truth. My truth is my truth. And guess what? I am going to walk in it. I'm going to hold tight to it. Again, we were all created to move in purpose, on purpose for God's huge purpose. Have a most enjoyable Saturday. I love you. Feel free to check out my group From Trauma and Drama to Truth. I'm still looking for people to be in the book that we'll start working on probably, what is this, June, maybe August, I'm thinking. So again, I'm looking for people because again, when you tell your story, it helps to heal you. It helps to heal you. So again, I love you. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Also, if you're interested in being on my TV show or podcast called Own Your Truth and Rise, let me know. Looking for women and men, looking for people who want to be transparent and share their story about their journey from trauma and drama to truth. Because I always say unhealed childhood trauma turns into adult drama. I got my AA, my BS, my MA, and my doctorate in drama or trauma and drama. I got that. Okay. Life's experience. That's what I'm talking about. The experiences that I've been through. And I know I'm not the only one out there. Hi, Elisa. I love you. So God bless you all. I'm going to go on and hang up before I start rambling too much. And y'all going to be like, what is she talking about? Because she ain't talking about nothing. You saying something, but you ain't saying nothing. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. God bless you. Walk in all of your truth. God loves you and I love you. Right, Tiffany? Just as silly as I want to be. Okay. Have a good one.